Welcome to the LGBTQ review with me, James. This is Beth. We review and discuss and showcase LGBTQIA plus content. This week we're looking at The Half of It.
Give it up next for Ellie Chu.
The good thing about being different in a town like this is that no one expects you to be like them. I'm 17. I live in Squahamish with my dad. I run a business, writing essays for people. I guess I just never thought I'd need anyone else.
Hey, hold up.
$10 for 3 pages.
No, I'm not trying to cheat.
What's this?
A letter. Maybe you can make me sound smart.
Dear Aster Flores, I'm in love with you.
These hallways were murder.
I'm Ellie Chu. Yeah, I know.
So The Half of It is the 2020 American coming-of-age film written and directed by Alice Wu. Alice Wu is an American film director and screenwriter who also did Saving Face, which we reviewed many years ago. The film is about Ellie Chu, who is a Taiwanese-American student who writes other people's essays to get extra money to pay the bills because her dad's depressed because her mum died. One day, Paul, a man, a boy, a guy who is also at her school and makes sausages in his family sausage making shop. It comes to her to say, can you write a love letter to this girl that I am in love with? And she's rightly like, have you ever spoken to this girl? And he is like, no. And thus the first red flag appears. She reluctantly writes this letter because the electricity is going to go off and he offers to pay her more than she gets for essays. And then they have to keep writing the letters and then hilarity ensues. That's an exaggeration, it's not hilarious.
It's a comedy drama, so it's mildly hilarious with spats of drama. Can you be mildly hilarious? I guess that'd just be funny, wouldn't it?
Can you have a spat of drama? Anyway, it turns out that she also loves this girl because she is like the most beautiful girl. Anyway, it turns out that I also love this girl. No. There's a montage in it where they're just stalking her. It's just a stalking montage. How did nobody say, I don't think this bit is a good idea. Maybe this bit shouldn't go in.
Those kind of things remind me of like 80s coming of age romance films without the funny montage and music. It is weird and like creepy. Yeah, they don't they follow her into like a drugstore and she's like getting toothpaste. Yeah, they need to know that, like the brand of toothpaste. I don't know.
Why aren't they stalking her online? Because it doesn't make a good film. But they're teenagers. Why aren't they doing that? That would be a much better way to. This is revealing too much about myself, but that's a much better way to stalk someone if you want to find out like what they like and their interests than following them around. If somebody followed me to Tesco, it wouldn't tell them anything about me.
Your diet, I guess. They could like wow you with a meal.
This person likes bland vegetables.
I mean, I was slightly confused about the date just because they use like smartphones, but apart from that, it's kind of like timeless. It's like, when is this supposed to be taking place? I'm not sure. And then because they're like following her around and not just going online to like Facebook, it's like, is this supposed to be set like early 2000s type thing? Is that why? The only other thing I would say is that this town seems to be very, very religious.
Yeah, the whole town is.
So Paul and
needless.
Asta are like quite religious themselves.
You know why it's so difficult to say the plot concisely? It's because there's like 50 different plots. So there's the like, he wants his sausage to be famous plot.
Taco sausage.
2 separate college plots. It's wild. There's loads.
Do you know my favourite thing was? Paul and Ellie's dad.
When they're bashing that sausage.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely, that's the best bit. I was
That
like,
is good.
I want more of this. The boyfriend character who does like the rock and roll music bit, I like that he wasn't like a massive villain. I feel like in an 80s film he would be like very villainous and like beat someone up type thing.
He did try and cheat on his girlfriend though. I mean, who was actively cheating on him the whole way through. But
in every scene it just seems like everyone's forgot who they're supposed to be like in love with previously.
Leah Lewis played Ellie Chu. She's been in stuff that I haven't seen. Have you seen anything that she's been in?
No, I did look up what she'd been in. She's been in a lot.
Daniel Dimer played Paul. He was alright.
Yeah.
At the beginning he wasn't very good, but he sort of got into it. Alexis Lemire is played by, Asta. Oh, I really messed that up. I'm not doing it again. For the first 2/3 of the film, she doesn't have a character.
She's just there, isn't she?
When she goes to work with her and then they go to a lagoon.
I've put Magical Spring.
Ah, yes. Magical spring. Yeah, up until that point. Because you do know little things about her, like she likes art, her life's difficult because she's pretty. That's it, really.
Yeah, she does say that, and she said the better than that, but that's essentially what she's saying, and it's like, this is silly.
That's a fine sentiment for a teenager to have. I think it's fine. But the way that it's portrayed in this film is just very strange. How have her friends and her boyfriend not noticed that she's like emotionally not there ever? There's so many montagey shots of like them chugging stuff or like filming things and like dancing around, and then it pans to her and she's just like on a stump.
It was weird to have that line about, like, this is not what they said, but like being pretty is hard, because she has like actual good problems.
Yeah.
And it's weird to not focus on them. Essentially, her life is being mapped out for her. It's weird that she doesn't recognize that's her own arc.
It's particularly strange because everybody in the film is pretty, so it doesn't.
Yeah, that's what I say as well. Everyone just has like the best skin, no spot.
Yeah, that can't be one character's problem. Like, if they're all pretty, it has to be all of their problems or nobody's.
She definitely gets to do stuff at the end, like a big set piece, I guess, at the end of the film in a church, and everything's like revealed. And she gets to do stuff in that scene, which is nice. And then she's like one other scene where she gets to do like some acting.
The sexy lagoon as well. What did you call it? The magical lagoon. It wasn't sexy. I don't know why I said it was sexy. I mean, it was steamy. Do I equate steam with sex? Apparently, I do. I really didn't like that church scene at all. And you know how much I love anything that even vaguely references The Graduate, but that was not for me.
The stuff that they say, there'll definitely be reactions to. Like, people will be like, what are you talking about? Or like interrupt them. But everyone just kind of lets everyone say whatever they like.
My least favourite bit of it was the joke with Paul's mum, like, Mummy still loves you even if you're gay. I'm not gay. Oh, thank God. Do better. It's 2020. We deserve better than that joke constantly.
It's supposed to be quite like, I don't know, like a liberating scene, but it's just very selfish. She's just being proposed to. So it's weird to be like ruining that forever. They both interrupt it at least twice each.
They're not interrupting it with the right things either. Like, Ellie almost gets there with, is this the boldest stroke you can make? But that's it. And then they both are just rambling about nothing. The crux of the interruption should be, are you sure this is what you want? Don't you want to go and do something? Anything?
It's a messy ending. They're like the third act.
Well, it's because they have like 50 plots to tie up. But it sort of feels like Ellie Chu is a great character. Asta is like an interesting character that doesn't get utilised. Paul is sort of interesting. Not as interesting as Ellie Chu. It's difficult to have an interesting character that can't talk properly. But also, you're not showing him not being able to talk properly. You're just getting him to say, I'm not very good at talking over and over again, which isn't great film. But it feels like they're three interesting enough characters and they've all got three separate films that the others shouldn't be in. Yeah. And they've just put them all in one film.
The best bit, I thought, was the friendship. That was like nice. And it had like lots of time to be explored and stuff. And it had like a satisfying ending and everything. Yeah, it's just odd. There's so much in it.
People did not like the end. Can we talk about the end without talking about the end? I don't know. Let's find out.
It's not a satisfying...
I think it is satisfying. It's a hopeful end.
Yeah, I guess it depends what you wanted the film to be, or like what you thought the film was going to be when you watched it.
I think it's one of the best coming of age ends to a film because they're 18, right? That's what they're going to do. They're going to go off to college now, or like, you know, perfect the sausage. They're not going to be together forever or be together at all. It's like more realistic. Their last interaction is very, I mean, sure, we need to talk about consent, but it's like very hopeful.
It was just like the ending I was kind of expecting. It had been built to that.
Now consent.
Which scene? Because there's a scene in the hot springs where she's like, just take your clothes off. No thanks.
Yeah, but that is like a joke though, right?
It would have been a joke if she hadn't like been tugging at it and wasn't like on top of her.
Okay, so there's a problem with consent there. But I think the bigger problem is the kiss.
Yeah, so at the film there's like this whole thing of like her asking Paul, oh, how did you know to kiss her? And he's like, well, you just know. There's like a look that they give you. But I mean, she is walking away from her and can't see her and then just like
she has to run back.
It's more like I'll regret it if I don't kiss you rather than you want me to kiss you.
I mean, I do think she wanted her to kiss her, but she was walking off.
Yeah.
And she took her by surprise. A bit more consent than that would have been better, I think.
Yeah.
Don't run at people and kiss them. That should probably be the baseline. It sounds like I hated it. I didn't hate it. I quite liked it. It was nice to have a coming of age story about. It's a really weird one because it's sort of not unrequited love, even though it is unrequited love. But it was nice to have a film where that was almost included, because that's much more likely to be a teenage experience than Love, Simon, where he forces a boy to come out on a Ferris wheel.
I will rate it 3.8 Yakult.
I will rate it 3.8 Pastor's Daughters.
Okay. I don't think have we ever rated things as a person?
I imagine I have.
I think we've done objects and concepts before, but
Well, I think a pastor's daughter is a concept. I would happily argue that it's a concept.
that's what we thought. Let us know what you thought. Subscribe and like if you want more. Yeah, if you have any recommendations, let us know. We'll try and get to them at some point. You can follow us on Twitter at LGBTQ_review.